Hooray, hooray, fellow lamb enthusiasts. Hi, Gary. Hi, Tommy Gunn. Thanks for checking out this intro technical analysis vid of the Shrine Auditorium Lamb Live. I plan to follow it up with a song-by-song visual demonstration of the fascinating live archive version retracking of 1998, which in my professional opinion has had over 80% of its vocals retracked. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lee, and I've been an audio engineer and staff announcer in broadcasting and commercial overdubs for almost 30 years now, which I hate to admit, but it's true. My specialty has always been analyzing and improving vocal quality and delivery for my anchors, my clients, and myself. And recently I was given a link to the wolfgangsvault.com people where I found the original recording of the Lamb from the Shrine Auditorium in 1975. Now, I had been aware of the partially retracked version available on the Genesis Early Years archive set released in 1998, but was suddenly given a chance to technically compare the amount of vocal redubbing given to the commercial archive reissue and comparing the two. And in comparing those two back to back, I was really dumbfounded and extremely pleased to find that this wasn't just some small portion of retracking of this musical and lyrical masterpiece, but that Gabriel and his team had retracked over 80% of my favorite Genesis album, but performed live, most likely utilizing Avid's ProTools nonlinear editing system or something of the like available in the late 1990s. I do apologize for this being 12 years late on the personal project, but with the advent of internet access to video sharing like YouTube, Vimeo, and such live music sharing sites, I guess I finally had to wait until I actually had all of the pieces to get this project done. Which leads to the next thing, which is a good question. Why am I doing this, you might ask? Well, professionally, and since I'm an overwhelming fan, the curiosity got the better of me, to be honest. I suppose that we all know now that there most likely will never be a Genesis reunion to stage the Lamb in its entirety. So I wanted to post this analysis to point out that, in my humble opinion, this re-recording of the Lamb Live was the way that the then 48-year-old Peter Gabriel could help us all go back in time, as we all long to do with the Lamb, and just refine and perfect it. Technically, he took what once was and properly retracted it to give us Lamb fanatics a really special gift. And I'm hoping that people will start seeing this recording as just that. Now, I've read a lot of comments from some people on many different websites about this particular re-recording and how they perceive it as the old Gabriel singing just a couple of parts of the archive reissue because of costume problems, etc. But I don't believe that many people have discerned the amazing job that he and his recording engineers did in actually sounding like his young self through a majority of the retracking. Now, over the past several weeks, I have dedicated innumerable hours in doing a note-by-note, phrase-by-phrase, waveform-by-waveform comparison in detecting the unbelievably seamless retract vocal parts. Now, you can really only detect the changes via different phrasing on his part, breath and vocalization qualities that Peter Gabriel went with in the recording studio. This and other clues were what tipped me off as to the actual overdub. Now, for example, in the title track, there is a small amount of change in Peter's phrasing, and I'll play you the young person, the old recording first, and then you'll hear the same part with the newer recording from 1998. Okay, that's the old version. Now, here is the 1998 version. say to me, well, Lee, that's just one part, and of course he could retract and any of those. But what I'm saying is that he went through a majority of the performance and retracted, and they wove it in just beautifully, really quite seamlessly. There were two other parts in the whole retracking where Gabriel actually had to drop down to a lower key to finish a phrase. And I think a lot of people thought that that was just the initial things that he did and thought that that sounded strange. But in essence, it's really the whole performance that has been retooled. The rest he was able to revoice in the original key that he performed in live, which is just astounding to me, since he was not only singing at his 25-year-old self's range, he was singing better, with more control and vocal emotional shading. Now, there's no doubt that Peter had gotten some serious vocal training from some unknown, very talented vocal coach in the years after he left Genesis. It was no secret that Gabriel used to shred his superlative God-given voice during the live performances and touring, and because he wasn't trained, and he was forced to rely on a vibrato technique that would close off a lot of his phrases, which I affectionately call his old goat note phrasing crutch. So here's an example. I've got it on the CD, if I can get this thing out.
And the stardust king spits out his form. One more women, you control your life. Don't look at me,
So anyway, he utilized that as the crutch, but it was a great key for me to be able to track some of the rephrasing and retracking through all of the new recording. Now add to this what Phil Collins says was some pretty horrendous stick mic technique during Pete's lives, more theatrically based performances, among other clues, and then you can tell that he sought out someone and some excellent advisors to overcome these deficits, the vocal coaching as well as the technical stuff. And thank God for the development of the wireless headset, because all of the rest of his concert tours throughout the present day, he's been able to utilize those until just recently with the New Blood Scratch My Back tour, where he's using a stick mic again. You know, what he replaced all of that with was a more rounded, breath-controlled, fuller vocal delivery, which was delineated by an extension of his closing notes, marked by his real quintessential upward catch in the voice to end a phrase, and he's utilized that until today. This was the technique that replaced the goat vibrato crutch that ended his phrases during The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway and previous recordings with Genesis. Now, again, I don't want to get too long-winded, because obviously this is working on 10 minutes now. I did this project because it's a project of love and enduring professional respect for Peter Gabriel, RealWorld Studios, and Genesis. And I hope that you enjoy the ensuing series of vids as I break down each individual song that was really gloriously recreated. And I'm hoping that you enjoy the live Lamb of 1975's Shrine Auditorium, retracked by Peter Gabriel in 1998, with my additional help to help you figure out the old versus the new. And please, be respectful with your comments. I really appreciate it.